Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Christ169. It is Wednesday night, day before I go back to work. Actually, it's Thursday, day before I go to work Thursday. But Wednesday is my last video of the week. I was going to make a personal one, but I decided to do that within the next, probably next Wednesday or whatever. I'll make a personal video, or a Wednesday or 25th for that one. Be real touching video. My anniversary of shorts. And some of you guys already know, so you know where I'm going with this. Why you don't, you'll find out soon enough, in a week or so. No, I'm not sponsored by Mountain Dew, even though I like drinking it. I should be sponsored by Mountain Dew. Hell, I should give me some sponsorship because I'm drinking it. Uh, but anyway, though, sorry, I gotta get a sip here of caffeine. It's weird how the cap does that. Cap comes off like that. Whole cap comes off. The top rim. Bites me, I guess. Anyway, though. Sorry. Damn cap. Don't want to come back on there. Fight with a stupid cap on a damn thing here. Sorry. Sorry, guys. This whole video, me fighting with a cat. Anyway. Not really. But, just, one of those things you gotta deal with, I guess. One of life's little mysteries. Mysteries. So I can close the damn thing up while it's going it everywhere. But yeah, today's video is about the 5060 Ti again. For if you guys are new to my channel. CPU, RAM. I'm gonna go on all that stuff here a little bit, touch on a little bit of stuff here. Mostly, it's gonna be a GPU video, but I will touch on RAM and CPU, where you should go. If you're brand new to this video channel, if you don't mind go on down there and and liking the video. Proof I have a 56 Ti. I reviewed this bad boy. It's great. 16 gig card, love it to death. We're down there. You can review it. You can watch my videos. And me approaching 1,000 videos, 1,000 video mark coming up. Thought about doing something special. Don't know for sure what it'll be. Probably another gift card. Probably a gift card, or not really not really a Xbox, but maybe a Steam gift card. If you guys have Steam down there, it might be a little easier or harder to do. I don't know how that will work. Because Game Pass Ultimate is easier to use to get off there than actual Steam cards. Because I send you a code, I've sent you a message, and if it's the wrong person, they get a free code. You get nothing. That's why I make sure I have to be a friend. I have to be a friend to do that kind of stuff. I know Boxing is one of my friends on Steam, so but he won a Game Pass Ultimate. So I may do another Game Pass Ultimate 1 month, unless it's $30 a month, and I ain't gonna do it. But I might do one of those for a special person. But I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Like I said, I haven't made a decision on it yet. It's not like I'm slurring my speech because I'm tired. I've been waking up early and taking care of the gutters and stuff because damn gutter guards came off and go up there on a ladder. And that was always fun to do. Big fat guy on a ladder. Yeah, fun. But this video is about the 56 Ti. Budget build CPU, RAM type of thing. And I'm a Newegg right now, 5060 Ti. 8 GB is garbage. I wouldn't waste time on that. The MSI Gaming GeForce 60 Ti is $599. The Ventures MSI 16 gig is $589. They have a pre-built AVAC PC Max series 5700X with 56 Ti. I do believe it's 16 gig. I think it is. Um, the one here, it's $1,300. AVG PC, $1,200, $2,000. You know, they're a little expensive, obviously. The pre-built are expensive. Um, Amazon has them for 16 gig variant, not 8 gigabyte variant of 5060 Ti. It's $519, going all the way to $794, $489, $670, $690, $150, that's not what you're looking for. Um, $599 for the Yeston. I don't know that name brand. MSI one, 8 GB garbage, 60 gigabytes. Zotac has 8 GB one, is garbage. Um, Best Buy has a few of them online. Overclock, 549, 549. Pre-built with one in it that says 16 gigabytes of RAM, but it could be anything different. It could be a different one. It's TI 16 gig. It's $1,200 pre-built. Not a bad price for a pre-built with 16 gigabyte graphics card with DDR5 and it too. I do believe memory is 16 gigabytes of DDR5 memory, so that's not probably cheapest that you're gonna get DDR5. Uh, but guys, ain't much really going on right now. You know, in the video crisis right now. People have asked me about different videos. They've asked me. Uh, they asked me about what's the difference between the console gaming and PC gaming. You know, it's getting kind of hard to find news right now, guys. To be honest with you, the 5060 Ti 16 gig is a good budget system. I mean, it's a good budget to build in your system. It's a good graphics card, but the price going up to $600. I got this right around 525 on a Newegg. I got this and I bought it for 525. It was 480, 479. No SSD, no free SSD, no RAM, whatever. But if you buy a 5090, you get like a free a free buy 50 B550 motherboard. And people are really worrying about saving money when you're buying a 5090. They're the budget motherboards. But guys, you can build a decent rig around a graphics card. Even if you go with 9060 XT, the counter variant to this, and get a good, decent budget build, you'll have a good, decent time with it. I got the 5060 Ti because I wanted 16 gigabytes. I wanted more 8 gigabytes of VRAM. My 3070 was showing its age. It was no longer, I had the lower down settings to play Battlefield 6. Ultra setting was good. When you go from playing games at 100, playing Battlefield 2042 at 110 to 90 to 110 frames to Battlefield 6 from paying 75 to 80 if you're lucky. On a good day when you can get the graphics card just right to work. And then, and I'm not saying 3070 is bad. No, 3070 is a good optimized card. It has a lot of power, a lot of steam in it, a lot can go. But it's slowly turning into a budget powerhouse 1080p card. And with older 1440p titles, like Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Battlefield 2042. Uh, Mostly all the Call of Duty games will run really good on it, even 1440p. But games like Battlefield, games like Last of Us Part 2, Part 1, Star Wars, uh, the new Star Wars games, the I know even a lot of stuff, it's going to be difficult for it to run. Okay, Jedi Survivors and just games of that nature are going to be hard for it to run because 8 gigabyte VRAM is the buffer wall. 10 would have been better. That's why I said, if you get a buy, a B8 five, B 580, 570, whatever, and you get like 10 gigabytes of VRAM, it's still better than 8, but it's only 2, but it's better than 8. A little buffer there, a little more extreme 1080p gaming, maybe light 1440p, but sweet spot's 12. Yeah, so we got 5070 Ti for $800, but it was Christmas time. Christmas was like, a week away. I had to get gifts for my family, of course, and they like gift cards, so that was pretty cool for me. Every other year's gift cards was great for me, and this year fall upon it. So it was. I was gonna buy this, or I was gonna just give up PC gaming because I was coming to the precipice. I was going to a precipice where I didn't want to wait another 2 years with a card of 8 gigabytes, knowing very well that card is going to struggle with every single game I throw at it, even if I drop down my ultra wide 2K monitor to an ultra wide 1080p monitor, 120 frames. I'm still going to be bottlenecking that graphics card because it's not going to give me what I need. Guys, you have to understand, 1080p, ain't going to be around forever. Look at 720p, all will be around forever. It wasn't. Granted, it was discontinued maybe about 10 years ago or so, but 10 years is a long time, folks. 10 years ain't that long of time. In the world of technology, 10 years is like almost like, you know, you know, you know 3 days ago in tech world. Technology moves so fast that the 1080p is there. And 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 people say, well, you don't understand. You don't understand. I do understand. I understand a lot more. If you guys can't afford a graphics card, like I said before, guys, graphics cards, PC gaming, is not a poor man's hobby. You can't be poor and be PC gamer. This doesn't work. And you console gamers realize that now too when your consoles are costing $700, $800. So no, welcome to the PC world, there, my friends. Uh, but 8 gigabyte cards are trash because you're not going to be able to do a lot with them. Yes, you can still play 1080p and e titles and blah blah blah. That argument is so old. It just ran its course. Even Apex Legends now says 4 to 6. Rumors saying it might say 8 is minimum eventually because they're updating the game. They're expanding it. They're not going to keep that game forever and ever as the same simplistic blob it once was. Because they didn't make the game changes. They didn't give the game changes and new life. Counter Strike would be pretty much dead in the water 20 years ago, but it came out in 1998. Think about that. In 2028, that game will be 30 years old and still has over 1 million players on it. Apex Legends been out for a long while, and I'm still pissed because they canceled Titanfall 3 because of it. I'm still mad at that, by the way. Um, but that being said, though, is 8 gigabyte cards still useful in 2026? Yes and no. There is but that window is slowly closing because the titles that use 6 GB are going away. Rumor mill is a lot of these games nowadays, like Fortnite and games of that nature, PUBG and all the crap like that, are going to be increasing their video RAM requirements eventually because because newer stuff, new lights and new shaders and all that crap. That stuff takes VRAM power to put all that together on your screen. It just doesn't magically come out of this sky fairy type of situation. So graphics cards nowadays have to have more than 8 GB. 10 is literally the new 8. Got a friend of mine who has a 3080 non TI, and he's having issues. His 3080 is a beast. Plow through Battlefield 6 like it's nothing. He plays Hogwarts Legends with his kid. He noticed stutters. And he has a 2K monitor. He upgraded to ultra wide like I did. When I got one, I got mine for my birthday. He got one for Christmas. But the thing is, his own gift. He bought himself a Christmas gift for himself because his family, whatever. But Drama with Nerd Time, they're cool. It's just they don't do big gifts on each other. They do mostly gift cards. So he had, and anyway, it's not topic. The point being this is this. I've been beating the bush on this. I know. I have. Jay's 2 cents had it. We all have. 8 GB cards are the bane of gaming existence because all they're doing is it's giving the dumb gamers, and don't say Mark say I'm dumb. No, the dumb gamers and new gamers who don't understand what VRAM is and capacity and bottleneck, you don't understand all that stuff. Okay, go in here. Oh, I'm gonna buy this 5060 Ti, 8 GB pre-built. Go home and play Borderlands 4 in 4K. Like, no, you're gonna play Borderlands 4 in in steel mode or like an etch a sketch kind of mode, playing 4K ultra everything on. You be playing it faster, and you be playing faster with a like those little a rotating card some movie things from the 20s and 30s. Put a quarter in, that'll be faster than the game you're playing because that 5060 even TI version what I have here can do 4K, but ain't gonna do 4K Ultra on 4K Ultra ray tracing on Cyberpunk, my friend. 16 GB ain't gonna help it there. There's limitations to a lot of these cards. This one here, it's a great 2K. That's what I bought it for. Also, it's cheaper than the 5070 Ti. About almost $300. So I saved $300 and had more money for gifts for Christmas. But this here, the exact same card out there has 8 GB. People would buy that thinking they're getting a good graphics card, and they are. The problem is 8 GB, guys, ain't gonna help you. Well, I'm stuck at 1080p forever. Yes, you are. Until realize that no 1080p, get out of here. What they're gonna be saying. Look at 720p. Half 720p. Why? Because the gaming community wanted more. Guys, 720p was around for a while. My TV, my old TV long time was 720p. Okay, it was a great TV. The TV behind me is a 4K TV, 4K 60. It's an Amazon Fire TV. That being said, that being said, there are limitations to 8 GB. A lot of textures won't be loading. A lot of it, a lot of your graphics outside of texture won't be loading. The NPCs may not load clearly. I know even though the game is optimized great, you will have problems. I play games on my 3070 that are optimized well. I play games like Battlefield 2042 and The Hideous Nightmare. But I play games like Tomb Raider, Rise of Tomb Raider, Shadow Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. Had issues with loading textures and shaders because 8 GB of VRAM was just not enough. had lower settings down from ultra to high to medium, especially on games like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, that I could not play it at high settings. It wouldn't let me because the VRAM was not just it wasn't keeping up. It just wasn't enough there to do the job thoroughly. So when someone says 8 gigabytes is enough, you need like a million asterisks, next to that number. It's enough if you're only going to play e titles and play it on medium settings, and not really care about high frame rates. If you're gonna play Fortnite or PUBG or Apex Legends, you play, 1080p. Hey, knock yourself out. But even eventually, games like Cyberpunk and games like even Helldivers, believe it or not, is really challenging 8 gigabytes. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Village, new Resident Evil Requiem. These games, and even Grand Theft Auto 6, when it does finally see the light of day, when it finally comes out on PC, you think that game is going to be optimized for 8 gigabytes? It may be. What happens is not. What happens ain't designed for 8 gigabytes. Well, they say, well, you need at least 10 to play this game. You just then 2K and Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar has just alienated about close to half of the gaming population on PC. This is a real thing that can happen, guys. See, they have to water down games to make it run on everything. But see, PC gaming didn't do that because your hardware will do all the work. But what happens if your hardware is the issue? Your 8 gigabytes of VRAM, it's just not going to cut it anymore. What then? What then? What happens when 8 gigabytes is no more and becomes the 4 and 6 gigabytes that 8 gigabytes replaced not too long ago? The 28 Ti is a great example of what happens when you release a game, a gaming card, but have too much dollar signs in your eyes, and you charge double what the 1080 was for 11 gigabytes of VRAM, and expect people to go out there and spend $1,200 on a card, knowing they can go get a 1080 Ti. That is a downgrade in people's eyes, but still rocking. People still rocking 1080 Ti's playing Battlefield 6 when it came out, and Helldivers 2 when it launched. People were still rocking that. Why? Because it was a true, it was a well-rounded goat. It was a well-rounded goat of its time. The 1080 Ti, 28 Ti, yes, they were expensive, more so 28 Ti, but the people knew how to work it. 11 gigabytes of VRAM, 11 gigabytes of VRAM, both of those things. Even the 1080 and 1028 Super, 8 gigabytes was still considered enough. And you had enough to play the games. You didn't have to worry about gameplay. You didn't have to worry about, you know, having to come in, with the bottlenecks and the issues because you knew that the 11 gigabytes of VRAM will run any game out there. You can run it on the highest settings you want to. Even the game was like, let's say like a stalker level, uh, um, like Metro, for example, was very hard to run for a lot of games. Metro Exodus, hard graphically, and another game I'm trying to remember what it's called. Uh, it was out there for the longest time, and it was a very hard game to run. I need a lot of power to run it, good graphics card to run it. And I can't remember the names in my head bouncing around. I'll remember it for the end in the video probably. But games like that were not around as much. Games were not as big as they are right now. Metro and games of that nature weren't as, oh my god, explosions, as they were. It wasn't like that. You didn't have games like that every time coming out of the PC landscape. Yes, you had games like that, but if you couldn't run those specific games, you didn't buy those specific games. If you couldn't run the Metro Exodus, if you could not run that type of game like Stalker 2 nowadays, you didn't buy Stalker 2. You didn't buy the Metro Exodus. You didn't buy games that required a lot of power. You didn't buy The Last of Us Part 1 or 2. You didn't buy the games of that nature. You didn't buy the Hogwarts Legacy because your 8 gigabytes of VRAM couldn't run it very well, or whatever the case may be back then. You knew your limitations. Nowadays, people don't understand this. A lot of casual people are becoming PC gamers, and then they're running headfirst in that wall, thinking they're gonna break it down. They're gonna bounce off and they hit the ground. No, it's not a comedy hour. No, it's not a comedy hour. We'll do headfirst into the wall and they bounce off and they shake their head because their VRAM is not powerful enough. They don't understand the situation they're in. See, game consoles are different because they use upscaling to upscale the image from 1080p to 4K, 2K, or whatever K, insert your K here kind of thing. Insert your kind of K visual here. That's what they do. You can upscale with DLSS, but your hardware is running the game. Your hardware is responsible for running it. With a console, it's based upon what the manufacturer put in there and what the developer is want to utilize. Where you, the PC gamer, can play your games at ultra settings if you got a 5080, 5090, play 4K, 8K for crying out loud, 5070 Ti, light 8K gaming, heavy 4K, 5070, 4K, but mostly 2K, 56 Ti, 16 gig. What I currently have, straight 2K, but very high, but very good 1080p. And 8 gigabyte cards are just garbage cards that will run e-titles at 1080p, blah blah blah. But you have to understand, guys, the situation. I'm not dogging eight gigabytes. I had 8 gigabytes for a long time. I had 6 for a while too. 2060 I did a review on years ago. And they're good cards. If you're gonna play just e-titles and you don't care about resolution, you don't care about that fact, then buy 8 gigabytes. Buy a 5060 Ti or 960 XT and play it for a few years or a year or so. You get an idea for it. But I would say that right now, Dave, with the graphic shortages, with the DRAM and the RAM issues, once you buy the card, you might have for a couple years. So make a determining factor on yourself. If you're going to upgrade from an 8, if you can only afford 12, 5070, 12, or 9070 XT is really good. But you got to understand that, you got to buy these things because the graphics cards, man, are going to go up. And it's not going to get any better. Because NVIDIA is even hinting about getting out of the gaming market. Telling us gamers to go shove it up our butt. And go shove it up our rear ends. And they walk away. That leaves AMD only in Intel. If that's the case, then what's the point of buying a graphics card from NVIDIA? I just bought a nice little a souvenir. But I don't think NVIDIA is going to do that right now because AI bubble, AI bubble can still burst. There's some leakage the air of the AI great machine that AI is, and no one knows for sure how long it's going to last. No one knows how long it's going to last. They have ideas, they have concepts, they have thoughts, but no one knows how long it's going to last. No one knows how long the AI bubble is going to last. So that's why NVIDIA hasn't pulled out directly out of all consumer. That's why they're slowly rolling back to 16 gigabyte 70 Ti, 16 gigabyte 60 Ti. But sure, they're gonna make rumors about releasing a 5090 Ti. They're gonna discontinue that big ass hoss thing and save tons of 32 gigabytes. They can't do that because those people who have too much money and not enough sense have to go buy those things. But they're gonna chip away at the core fan base. The core base of their product is you and I who buy 16 gigabytes of 5060 Ti 16 gig or 12 gig because that's all we can afford after scraping enough money together. So they say F you to you and me because they don't want to sit there and not discontinue 5090s. They could save a lot more VRAM if they get rid of the 5090s for a while. If they stop doing producing 5090s for a year, they probably have enough VRAM or enough DRAM to do what they need to do, and they can reproduce it a year later and still keep producing 50 Ti 16 gig and 5070 Ti 16 gigs. But they won't. And some people come on that. I had a message from Messenger a couple weeks ago. Somebody asking me, well, why don't they release a 10 gigabyte version of 50 Ti, make it only 2 extra gigs more? And I said, well, it's not a bad idea. Even Hardware Unboxing had the same question to them, and I said the different thing that what they said. I said, well, it'd be nice if they did that, but it's kind of late to do it right now. Saying it because 60 gigabytes is still out there. You can still purchase them. No, they're not fully out of sold out yet. 56 Ti 16 gig. You could still buy them. Now they released a 5060 Ti 8, 10, and 16 variant models, and slowly pulled back 16 away, and only had the 8 and 10 gigabyte models available. Then okay, fine, that's one thing. But to release the 16 gigabyte model first, then release the 8 gigabyte model, so they're going to shave off only 2 more gigs for a 10 gigabyte. Why not shave off 1 gig and make a 9 gigabyte one? Or 8.5. You know what I mean? It just makes no sense. So the message person that said they're not a sub of my channel, but they was on my channel and asked me a question. There's a good value question. We live in a universe where common sense reigns supreme. We don't. We live in a world where Nvidia is gonna is gonna sacrifice 2 cards with 16 gigabytes of VRAM so they can continue to make a card that has 32 gigabytes of VRAM. Literally taking that card and getting rid of it will literally open up two 16 gigabytes of VRAM modules for the cards that they're temporarily discontinuing. It's not end of life; they're just temporarily stopping producing them. We see it's kind of stupid because it's like you're taking all your raw material for 5090, and yet you could have taken those two 16 gigabytes dies. And I know it's a lot more than just putting die on a thing, obviously, and making the 5070 Ti, 5060 Ti, 16 gig still, and stop producing 5090s for a while. They won't do that because the enthusiasts get a little upset because we want to buy 5090. We want to take our rent money and just run towards the 5090 with it, even though they could be going outside living under a bridge, selling their computer to buy food, just to go eat under a bridge because they have no place to live. But yeah, we'll go ahead and keep that going. So in my video, guys, this is my video here. I appreciate you watching my video. But in closing, the graphics card shortage is making everybody lose their minds. The VRAM shortage, the graphics card shortage, we're gonna call it, is making everybody on YouTube, myself included, lose their minds. It's getting to a point now where the news is always gonna be doom and gloom. So starting here in a few weeks or so, I'm gonna change my channel out a little bit here. Where I'm gonna go away from PC gaming for a little bit and try something different. Because as of right now, unless there's a magic explosion of AI, or the AI bubble just completely goes down the toilet in the next few weeks, it's going to be harder and harder for people to really get into PC gaming. And I don't say that with any type of vitriol or hatred toward NVIDIA or AMD or Crucial. But my channel got to change. I got to change it up. So the next few weeks, the next month or so, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna slowly get off the PC gaming, not off the gaming. I may become more of a general, just general person. When I talk about general news and knowledge and different things like that. Not because I want to get out there and be like everybody else, or get out there and try to grow better. No, it's just because right now I've grown enough. I have 276 subscribers. Have a 1,000 videos. I've dedicated over 10 years of my life to this channel. I've done everything I possibly can do to keep it going, and you guys have helped me a lot. But the PC landscape right now is so damn freaking convoluted and just full of just BS, backwards bullshit, just backwards bottlenecking, what do you even call it? I can't even conform to language right now. How tired I am and how pissed off I am. That every time I watch Stage 2 Cents or watch all these other gaming things, it's always about the crisis with the RAM. I'm gonna say it right now. Fuck the RAM, okay? Fuck it right now. We all need to change out here. We all need to change. We all need to change and to start coming up. A3D, come up with different concepts of videos. All the content, because it's getting to the point now where you guys watch YouTube, obviously. I do too a lot. You're on there, all you see is woe is me, AI, woe is me, prices, woe is me this, woe is me that. I'm gonna start becoming more of a third party, just entrepreneur, or more like a journalist, talking about things in day to day life in Clarksville, Tennessee, or whatever. Something different. Not leaving the tech stuff behind, but temporarily suspending it, because right now nothing to talk about other than damn RAM shortages and graphics cards that people can't afford. If you guys can't afford 5090, then you ain't shit. Like, really? You can't afford a $3,000 graphics card? What are you guys doing with your money? A lot of us trying to live, pay our bills, and put food on the table. I had that one time. I had a person one time making a video talking about, well, I bought the 90 and it cost me a 5 grand. I'm like, well, I'm thinking, well, how in the fuck spend 5 grand on a 5090? That's a damn car payment. That's rent. That's utilities. That's damn food. I don't know. It's a standard gaming chair. It's a Respawn chair that I got at Sam's Club years and years ago. Um, but the point is, guys, I'm trying to make here is this: the PC gaming landscape and entrepreneurs like me and Jace 2 Cents, the rest of these guys, Gamers Nexus, shout out to them, Horror Unboxing, is becoming more and more just convoluted, because you look, uh, and how can and it's convoluted, and the issues that they have are difficult for a lot of people, um, because it's hard for a lot of people to understand. Okay, if you don't understand it for sure, if you cannot understand it, then there's nothing I can say to you. If you don't see the problem we're in, the problem we have with the gaming landscape right now, and where in the hell we're going, it's a problem. That needs to be addressed. Needs addressed tremendously, and like right now, because there's PC gamers out there who are getting into this and realizing they've been hosed because they have people out there telling them how great PC gaming is and how cool it is, how awesome it is. Yeah, that's great to get into, but getting into it now in 2026 is almost damn near impossible because you can't sit there and be a PC gamer and be poor. You can't be spending your rent money to go buy a 5090 when you know your rent's due in less than 24 hours. But people do it because people have to live and I live so close to the edge. A razor wire, thin razor of life. They have to live so close to it. And I'm the same way too. We all are. But I think it's time for us creators to start pulling the reins back and telling people, hey, this is what you guys need to hear. What you don't want to hear, I say we start boycotting these companies. We stop buying PC stuff. We stop buying graphics cards, stop buying RAM, stop buying everything, and do it just full dead stop. Because right now, all we're doing is giving thousands of dollars to RAM manufacturers that's selling RAM for $1,900 in Best Buy. Yeah, my graphics card cost $525. I bought it in December 2025, right around this mess was going on. People are buying graphics cards worth $5,000, $6,000. Gaming rigs. A friend of mine bought a gaming rig for $4,500 for $5,000. He had delivered his house uh, Sunday. I shook my head in disbelief, and it made me question. Yeah, you have the money, but is it always right? The quote Malcolm in Jurassic Park when when John Hammond was trying to pitch the idea, of creating these animals and Malcolm said the best line says your scientists preoccupied with they should be preoccupied be more occupied if but they could. The line was your scientists were more preoccupied if they could, but no one stopped to think if they should. And that's something that we need to look at in PC gaming wise. We have a 4 alarm alert, guys. I'm not saying go out and don't buy PC parts. If you're gonna buy a 5070 Ti, 5060 Ti, 16 gig, because you got the money saved up, your bills are paid, your money do what you want with it. If you're out there after just buying this stuff to buy this stuff, because you got to upgrade RAM, just no enjoy it to have. If you've had 8 GB card like I did, and you know the card is not going to do any well, then you have to upgrade. Fine, upgrade. Hey, I don't problem with that. But if your RAM is DDR5 and it's like 16 or 32 gigs, and you're still doing decent with it, just leave it alone. All you're doing giving these RAM manufacturers even more reason why they can charge $1,900 for 2 sticks of RAM at a Best Buy. Now, if you're getting brand new into it and you can go DDR4 to DDR5, so go for it. If you're brand new into PC gaming and you're doing DDR4, Intel, go for it. You know, but right now, guys, I think right now it's not something that needs to be addressed often, but should be addressed often as it could. We as content creators, myself, Jay's 2 cents, all these guys who are bigger than me, um, on here, need to understand that when we say things, we need to back them up. See, I don't have sponsorships. I don't have the NZXT scandal like Jay 2 cents and Steve at Gamers Game and Nexus had, because I have money coming from my job. I have a job I go to every day and every 3 days a week, and I get paid. I come home, I do this for a hobby. If I got paid for doing YouTube, I'll be very strict and tell you 2020 that I wouldn't do business with a lot of people when it comes to free advertising or sponsors, because every company and every company has shady ideas. Okay, and it's not fair to any company who's trying to start out and say, hey, we're starting out from scratch doing what we can. You can't label every company as a Chinese workhorse slave shop company, but you eventually how it ends up. So I think PC gaming, we need to step back and realize, okay, what we're telling consumers out there they should buy, not understanding that PC gaming is becoming the issue that we thought it wouldn't become. PC gaming, guys, it's never going to die. 'Cause if it dies, the whole industry is dead. Because there's no way the consoles can hold up all this weight. Because I say that um, because it's being truthful about it. I think that people need to understand that. Well, guys, this is one fat guy's opinion. Comment down below what you feel about the state of gaming 2026 and going forward. Catch you guys later. Peace out.